Hello everyone. Are you there? Oh, we're just trying to get situated. How are you? How are you? How are you? So, say hello when you're online. Let me know that you're there. Yay! Happy bank holiday. Oh, we got Pat from Tennessee. Hello, Pat. Jamie! My Jamil is in the building. I love Jamie. Oh, Jamie, how are you? Gorgeous. I love Jamie. He is such a sweetheart. Some of you might remember Jamie from being on The Voice UK with me. He's just... Oh, I love him. Hello, Gorge. Hi, Brooke. How are you? Thank you, my darling. I miss you too, Jamie. Oh. Joe, I hope we just get to sing together one day very soon. I really hope we do. I'm fidgeting with this Facebook, with my iPad. It's just not the positioning. But hey, it is what it is. Sorry guys, I've got my big old hands. My stand is collapsing. It's just doing all sorts of stupidness tonight. Yes. But welcome. Yeah. So, how is everybody? Is everybody okay? Are we doing all right? Yes. Oh, gosh. I've got a bit of a suntan. So guys, I want to just get into this. I want to talk to you tonight. So I thought tonight I was going to be open and be vulnerable with you all and be a little bit honest. How about that for a change? So I decided I was going to just come on here fresh-faced, no makeup. Obviously, I've got a bit of lippy on. You know I just can't do without the lippy. Come on. I want to say hello. Still got loads of people saying hello to me. Renato, hello. I've got Joshua, hey Josh. Tiffany, what up girl? I've got Imani in the building. I've got Kyla, hi Kyla. I've got Jude. Jude says I look like a caramel queen. Caramel queen. Gonna share in the same dream. No, don't tell Billy what I did to his song. I'm gonna have a swig of my tea because that was actually a great joke. Amanda's in the building. Yes, Amanda's my trainer. Yes. It's a good thing I'm not eating any cake tonight, isn't it? Yes, no bounty bar tonight, Amanda. I've been told. Is that somebody who's my namesake? Hello. Welcome. So just give me a wave. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Obviously, Amanda, don't tell them where we are. I know where you are. Hello, Bernie. How are you? Melanie, hello. How are you, my lovely? Yes. How you doing, girl? Woo! So listen, I hope you guys are going to be chatting with me tonight, and we're going to have a bit of vulnerability and a little bit of openness, and we're going to be real friends tonight, okay? So I'm on here, and as you can see, no makeup whatsoever, which is the first time ever in 2 years that I've ever done a MichPowerHour without any makeup on. And so I wanted to do that tonight because tonight I wanted to talk about, having imperfections, having flaws. And this is not the done thing, especially on social media, especially for someone like me who has been in the music industry for years upon years upon years upon years. And it's all about how you look, your how you present yourself, your image, all of those things. So this is like going against the grain tonight, okay? But I just wanted to be a little bit vulnerable, a little bit honest with you guys tonight. And some of you have noticed from my the subject matter, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about some of my own imperfections and my own flaws. And I as you might see, I have some hyperpigmentation here. A little bit on my forehead. But you see here on my cheeks, and here I have some right here on my, just above my lip. And honestly, it's been one of the things in my world, in my little world, that makes me feel so vulnerable. It makes me feel imperfect. It makes me feel flawed. It makes me feel like my picture is flawed. And you know, for some of you guys know my journey. I've been a singer for 20 something years, and couple of years ago I was on The Voice UK, and you know, being on The Voice was something that really kind of challenged all of my vulnerabilities, because I felt pretty strong as a singer. And like Jamie was on here earlier. Jamie was a finalist as well. I think Jamie was third, I was fourth. And, you know, I don't know how you felt, Jamie, but it was a really like vulnerable moment in my life. And when you're on a TV program every week and people are not just listening to you, how you sing, but people are looking at you, and people are, you know, you have people that are lovely and going, oh, great outfit, Shell. And, you know, some people are like, oh my God, she looks like, you know, Dog's Dinner dressed up in sequins or whatever. I mean, you know, I'm sure we've all had trolls, and we've all had people that have been less than complimentary about us and pictures and stuff like that. But social media, you know, some people can be very graphic and very outspoken when you don't want them to and you don't need them to. And, you know, I was probably one of the eldest people on the show. Certainly as we went up in the process of the further we got up, you know, getting to the quarterfinals, I'm sure I was the eldest person in the lineup that was left. And, you know, I'm a voluptuous girl, so I was the most voluptuous one in the in the lineup. And, you know, I had all these comments and all these people basically in the industry basically saying, it's too late, you're too old, you're too big, you aren't quite what we want, we're looking for the next Rihanna, and all of that kind of stuff. And you go through that, and so you already feel like all your flaws are being like spotlighted. And so you carry that, you know, I went through the process and I carried that. And, you know, I started to show signs of my hyperpigmentation during that process. And I don't know if it was kind of stress that really started to bring it forward, but it was something that I really started to get conscious of. And so I thought, oh God, you know, as well as all the other things I'm dealing with, now I've got to deal with this. And, you know, as a female, you know, we're very, you know, our face is important. Obviously, gentlemen, I know your face is important too. I understand. But as a female, you know, your face, your beauty is here, isn't it? And so you feel, for me, it was something that, you know, kind of made my confidence just dip a little bit. And I became really super conscious and started to do everything to cover it up. Okay. And, you know, I would start to wear makeup, you know, on days off, you know, run into the shop, I'd wear makeup, you know, because people would see me or they would notice me, or, you know, you feel like you have to represent that image of a singer, of an artist. And for some of you in your job, you know, you have to be glamorous, you have to be made up, hair's got to look right, your beard's got to look right, gentlemen, you know, you've got to look sharp, clean haircut. So the image is important. So even more so when you're in the music industry, when your image is always on, you know, being out there, you're on social media, photos, interviews, TV, music videos, you know, all of that. So I just became really, 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 really self-conscious of my hyperpigmentation. Can you see? So this, as I said, this is the first time I've been on the MichPowerHour without any makeup, even though I've got my lippy on, right? And so this is me being completely vulnerable with you guys. And so, you know, how do we deal with when we feel flawed? How do we deal with, you know, our imperfections? I've got some comments going on, so I want to read some of the comments. Helen, hello, my darling. Helen is disguised as Daniel tonight. But Helen, you sparked off this conversation because I put up a video a few days ago where I think I was out running with Amanda and I had no makeup on, and you could see obviously my pigmentation coming through. And Helen messaged me about it, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to talk about it. And again, this is, you know, about being vulnerable. This is all, Mich Power Hour is about turning the things that cause us pain and embarrassment and that make us feel less than and make us feel like we're not good enough, and turning those things into power. So that's what we're doing tonight. I've got... Brooke says, I literally wear 3 layers of fake tan because I hate my skin. Brooke, why do you hate your skin? I've seen pictures of you. You're stunning, by the way. Tiffany says, I have a cleft lip and palette, so I fully understand how it feels to look a bit different. I've been insecure about it for years, and only in the last few years have really accepted myself. It's a journey, isn't it, Tiffany? Can we give some love to Tiffany for being vulnerable? Can we give some love to Brooke as well for being honest tonight? Brooke says, you're such an inspiration. Thank you for doing this. Thank you, my darling. Thank you, guys, for those of you that are just joined in and that are waving. Oh, my big sister, Suzanne. Oh, I feel like... Oh. Hi, Sus. Oh, bless you. Imani says, I've got dark brown marks. Also, I don't like it either. Have you got them in like similar places as me, Imani? Especially like growing up as a child with freckles, and then now I have to deal with this. Ah! But do you know what? This is just what I'm learning to do, is accept and embrace the beautiful person that I am. And yes, look, I have my little patches, but I guess they just make me even more unique. This is what I'm learning to do, and learning to embrace that, hey, I'm not perfect. And I think this is something that stalks us all, like imperfection, whether it's the pressure of social media, whether it's the pressure of the job, whether it's pressure of lifestyle, whether it's the fact that, you know, we feel like in order to be loved and to be accepted and to be in a relationship and to be valued, that we need to look a certain way. It all adds up, doesn't it? Brooke says, my skin is sensitive to light, so sometimes comes out in a rash. So I've worn 3 layers of tan since I was 13. I mean, your skin is sensitive to sunlight, not normal light. Bless you, my darling. Thank you for your honesty tonight. So, in what I've been learning, and I've been just doing some healing for myself, and you guys know I'm actively always trying to challenge myself and go, come on, Shell, you can do better than this, right? So I've been doing a little bit of research and just been doing some healing. And listen, imperfections, flaws are human. You know, that's a part of our humanness. What another person's imperfections is another person's perfect. Somebody's looking at your pictures, Brooke, and going, oh my God, I wish I could look like her. I wish my skin was like her. I wish I had her bone structure. I wish I had her hair. I wish I had her body. Somebody is looking at Tiffany and going, oh my God, Tiffany is beautiful. She's so confident. She's on social media. You know, she talks brilliantly. You know, she looks beautiful. She's got amazing eyes. Somebody, your imperfections are somebody's perfection. Okay. Jacqueline says, I love my skin without makeup. I don't have any marks, just beauty spots. As I get older, my skin's changing. Sometimes it goes dry, or my face gets oily. Hey, again, as you said, Jacqueline, we're all getting older. We're all older than we were yesterday, right? We're all evolving as we're going, and this is part of our growth. This is part of acceptance. accepting who we are, accepting the beautiful person that God created us to be, whether you believe in God or not. This is who we are. So we have to wear this and look after this body, this temple, as best as we can. Okay? Perfection is what we use to impress others and win friendships and win relationships. But what truly breaks down barriers and wins us enduring relationships is vulnerability. Like this, being honest, being open, being vulnerable. Okay, and I know that's not the easiest thing to do, especially when you have something that you really feel heavy about. It isn't easy, but this is how we create lasting, honest connections, when we can say, look, this is me. This is the real me. Yeah? No hiding, no hours and hours of covering up and trying to present something that isn't quite, yeah? And this is not something you can do with everyone. It takes time. It takes you being able to discern and go, is this person, you know, can I trust this person? Can I trust this person with me? Can I trust this person with my flaws, with my imperfections? Can I trust this person with my story? Can I trust this person with my pain? Can I trust this person with my ordinariness? This is my ordinariness. Can you? Tiffany says, I think sometimes we feel alien for feeling a bit insecure, but we need to realise every single person on earth is insecure about something. So we are all in this together. You are absolutely right. Hey Cheryl, welcome my darling. Phil says, hi me, Cheryl from Chippenham in the house. Whoop, 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 whoop. We're just talking about imperfections tonight. We're talking about flaws. And for those of you that are just joining the conversation, I was saying tonight, in a moment of vulnerability, I decided not to wear any makeup at all, apart from my lippy. And just say, look, this is me, imperfections and all, and I'm not going to continue to let my flaws and my imperfections from stopping me from going forward, from stopping me from being confident, from stopping me for going for the things that I want to do, from stopping me for entering into relationships with people, from stopping me from being vulnerable. You know, I'm not going to do that. Brooke says, I always had a go at for wearing so much makeup. Bless you. And you know what? If you feel that you need to do it, maybe you might get to a point like me, Brooke, where you might go, hey, you know what? This is me. Listen, this doesn't mean that tomorrow you won't see me with my blusher on, because I love blusher. I love foundation. I like looking beautiful and pretty. But what I'm saying is, I'm not gonna allow that fear of, oh my God, I don't want anyone to see me like this. And that's how I felt for the last couple of years. I literally would like have to cover up. I remember last year going on holiday, and through the holiday, we were in the south of France. It was beautiful. It was hot. And I was sweating through the makeup, through the foundation. And why? Because I felt self-conscious about my flaws, my pigmentation. And I just wasn't strong enough in myself. I hadn't accepted in myself that, hey, this is me, Shell. You know what? You're getting older, life changes, diet, all of these things, and it has an impact on you and on your body. Your skin changes with age. Hey, you know, this is me. Jonathan says, I just get on with it and acknowledge that I am far from, and I think he was going to say perfect. And I agree with you there. If any of you guys agree with Jonathan, hit it. Cheryl says, I love MichPowerHour, bringing everyone together. I've become so close to Julie and Nana over the past few days, which is down to you and Katie Shaka bringing us together. I love the fact that on MichPowerHour we're making connections and friendships and just look after each other, respect each other, love each other. That is beautiful, Cheryl. That almost makes me cry. How cool is that? Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. For those of you that are joining, thank you for joining me. So listen, all of these imperfections, these flaws that we go through, that we experience, that we all have, you know, some of us, our bum's too big. Some of us, we've got cellulite. Some of us, we've got grey hair now. Some of us have got less hair than we had. So, you know, we've all got something that makes us feel imperfect, that makes us feel flawed. And, you know, as Cheryl was just saying about connecting to some of these guys, you know, other people that tune into the MichPowerHour, you know, I think in order for us to get past this, we have to be vulnerable, and we have to be able to make honest connections and find people that we can trust with our pain, that we can trust with our story, that we can trust with our ordinariness. And I want to say that the root of these feelings that we have of feeling imperfect, feeling flawed, a lot of that is rooted in shame, because we feel shame. We feel shamed about how we look. We feel shamed about our body image. We feel shamed about wrinkles. We feel shamed about, you know, being overweight. We feel shamed about our hair. We feel some kind of shame that we feel is always the root of this, whether it's the shame of feeling like we don't measure up, or that we're damaged goods in some way, or that, you know, we're not enough, you know, and that is the root, shame. We've got Paulette saying hi. Hello, my darling. We've got Julie says, oh, Cheryl, that made me cry. Bless you. Yes. Julie says, we're all making friends through Mich. Oh, bless you. Nana says, absolutely, Cheryl. I'm so privileged to have connected with such amazing women. Oh, that is so amazing. Honestly, you guys have just made my night. Honestly, that's beautiful. Jonathan says, I'm an albino, so I have been shamed by some all of my life. Jonathan, you beautiful fella, don't you dare allow anyone or anything to make you feel shamed, because you know what? God doesn't make mistakes, and that's exactly what he did, what he wanted you to be. Brooke says, I agree with Cheryl. I would never have known about Katie had it not been for MichPowerHour, and I absolutely adore her. Oh, I adore her too. So as I was saying, a lot of this feeling of feeling imperfect and feeling flawed is rooted in shame. And so often our first reaction to shame is to hide ourselves away, is to hide ourselves from other people, to hide ourselves from opportunities, to hide ourselves from going out of our comfort zones. You know, we hide ourselves, you know, because we have low levels of, you know, shame brings on low levels of self-esteem, right? There's a lady that I watch and I follow her, and I've read a couple of her books. I have a lot of admiration for this lady. Her name is Brenna Brown, and some of you may have heard of her. If you have, check her. If you haven't, check her out. If you have, then you'll know what I mean. And she really teaches about shame and vulnerability. And she says shame needs 3 things in order to exist, in order to survive in our lives. Shame relies on silence. Shame relies on secrecy. And shame relies on judgment. Okay? 3 things that shame needs in order for it to survive: silence, secrecy, and judgment. So, if we're going to break shame off of our life, we can't stay silent. We have to talk. We have to be able to be vulnerable and to be open and to share. And again, it's about sharing with people that we can trust. And as some of these ladies are saying, they're making friendships, new friendships. And I hope that you guys get to a place where you can be open and honest and be a support network to each other. So we have to break silence. We have to break secrecy, because shame just magnifies itself in secrecy. So again, that's about being vulnerable to someone you can trust, whether that's a counsellor, whether that's your partner, your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, a best friend, someone that you can trust, someone that's got your back. And shame relies on judgment. Me being on here without my makeup. Oh, what are people going to say? They're going to see the real me. Are they still going to think I'm beautiful? Are they still going to think I'm good looking? This is me showing my age, and all these things that we think that come up in us, that we judge ourselves on, and we think everyone is judging us by these standards. So we have to shut down those 3 doors, okay? The door of silence, the door of secrecy, and the door of judgment. I want to read a couple of these comments. Phil says, Mich, good on you for not wearing any makeup. I hope your lippy is MAC though. I've started to come out more with the trend stuff of late, but I'm still too scared to go out and catch the train in my hometown. But I'm told as I wear MAC, I am disguising the fact that I'm a guy in another skin, if you get what I'm saying. I do understand what you're saying. And you know what, Phil? What I would encourage you is to be confident in who you are. That's it. Be confident in who you are. Cheryl says, gosh, I'm an emotional wreck. Well, I hope you ain't wearing any makeup. There's mascara everywhere. Brooke says, I really hope I feel confident enough to be natural one day soon, as wearing 3 layers of fake tan during pregnancy is such a chore. Well, give your face a rest, my darling. Give yourself a rest. You don't have to, if you're not ready to do it and go out, then do it in the house. Give yourself get used to it. That's what I've done. I've been getting used to it whilst I've been, especially in this quarantine, I've been like, I'm not putting on any makeup. Then I've been going out, I've been going for my run, I've been going for a walk without, and I just think, right now, look, people are fighting to stay alive. We're in survival mode. So nobody cares about what my face looks like. Tiffany says, I think in this day and age, we are all really hard on ourselves. We are all beautiful in our own way and should feel confident in our own skin. If anybody agrees with Tiffany, then please hit the likes, hit the hearts. So, shame cannot survive if we have empathy. If we talk to someone and say, this like Brooke saying a few weeks ago, coming on here and saying that she's pregnant. Suddenly, the weight of that, the shame of that, the fear of that got lifted, and now here she is embracing her pregnancy. What a beautiful, that's a testament to show how by talking about it, by taking off the secrecy, taking off the silence, taking off the judgment, and putting some empathy there, this can be a completely different thing. Julie says, Cheryl, that's your hormones because you're pregnant. Claire says, we are all unique and should celebrate. Society tells us otherwise, but look on Insta and everyone looks the same. There you go. Paulette says, Michelle, you are beautiful with and without makeup. Don't worry what people say, as long as you're happy with you. And I am happy with me, Paulette. Thank you. I wanted to share this with you. Shame drives our fear of rejection. Shame makes us not take risks. And when I say take risks, I'm not talking about, jumping off, like bungee jumping or something, but I'm talking about like the risk of meeting new people and the risk of, trying for a new job, or the risk of talking to one of your neighbours that you haven't spoken to before, or, fear makes us hide our bodies. How many people tonight have spoken about their body, their face, hiding who they are, because we're worried about judgment of others. Okay, so I want to give you some pointers of how we can try and break this weight of shame. Okay, and sorry guys, I'm just looking at my notes. I'm gonna have a swig of my tea. Cheryl says, I've got a box of tissues next to me. I've already cried at Katie's videos 3 times today, and now I'm sat crying. If the kids walk in, they're going to think I've gone. Pull yourself together, Cheryl. Imani says, you're so right. I live with it every day with my disabled daughter. People stare at her all the time. Sometimes it is so hard. And you know what, Imani? Sometimes it is hard. And dealing with the judgment of people. Sometimes I think people look because it's something that they're not used to, and sometimes it's not people's fault. If you see something that you're not used to, I guess sometimes you will look, but I know some people look in judgment, and that's awful. And I think you just have to deflect it. You just have to deflect it and just think, you know what, how blessed am I have my daughter here every day, and she's my gift, and just stay in that place, you know. Shaman says, I look like a roadmap. I had open heart surgery 8 years ago. I didn't know that, Shaman. And so I have a 5-inch scar on my chest. So no low cut top for me. No two-piece section on my, no two-piece bikini. No. Do you know what? One day you might wear that two-piece bikini, you know, Shaman. But I didn't know that you had gone through that, my darling. So blessings to you, girl. You are a champion. You are a fighter. Can we throw some hearts on the screen for Shaman for just being a survivor and coming through heart surgery? Bless you. Vanessa, I remember working for the NHS and they didn't like me wearing my natural curly hair. It then caused me to have issues with straightening my hair, as this was more appropriate for work. My darling, I don't work for the NHS. We got loads of hearts going on the screen for Shaman. Yes. I don't work for the NHS. I don't. But girl, wear your crown. Wear your crown and just wear your crown, girlfriend. You know, obviously, do what you have to do to comply, but wear your crown. Cheryl says, Julie, we need a Michelle and Katie support group for us all. They keep making us ladies cry. Do you know what? I hope these are happy tears and not bad, like sad tears, because that's not the plan at all. So, how do we break the shame? We've got Jacqueline says, bless her. We've got loads of people. Please say hello when you come on. Thank you for waving at me. Nima is waving at me. Sorry, my teeth. Renee is waving at me. Glenn is waving at me. Hello, my lovelies. Thank you for getting involved. How do we break the shame? One of the things I want to share with you guys is how many of us speak to ourselves the way that we would speak to a best friend? You would never dream of saying to your best friend, oh, you're ugly. Look at you. Oh my God, look at your skin. Oh my God, you're gross. Or what, you know, whatever the self-talk is that we say to ourselves. Honestly, how many of us would actually speak to our bestie like that? We just wouldn't, would we? We wouldn't. So, speak to yourself in the way that you would speak to someone that you love. You know, how do you speak to your wife? How do you speak to your babies? How do you speak to your hubby? How do you speak to your boo? You know, speak to yourself in the way that you would speak to someone you love. Another tip to break shame is to pinpoint it. Some of us have been very honest and very vulnerable tonight and have said, you know, this is why I've not worn any makeup tonight, because I wanted to be honest about some of my own imperfections, and this is one that I've struggled with the last couple of years. And as I was saying, for those of you that have just joined, you know, I've said that I've spent the last couple of years really like going all out to cover this up, and concealer, and then foundation, and then powder, and and just to make it all clean and flawless and everything. And I just got to a point of acceptance in myself and said, you know what, Shell, this is your skin. You know what, maybe I might find something that fixes this and that clears it up. But for now, I'm not going to feel the pressure of hiding and the pressure of trying to look perfect or trying to look flawless when this is the real me. Julie says, I had 2 operations just under 2 years ago. One was open surgery. So I've got a massive scar across my stomach that's left me insecure about my body and still in pain. So no bikinis for me now. So that's another person who, again, has scars because of a procedure. I'd had no idea that you guys had gone through this. So thank you so much for sharing that. That is beautiful. Can we hit some hearts on the screen for Julie, who is an absolute survivor and an absolute champion? Cheryl says, I always have a go at my 16-year-old as she spends hours putting her makeup on to walk 2 minutes down the road. And you know what? Don't you find that a lot of our young girls, our beautiful young women, now there's so much pressure on them when it comes to social media and Instagram. And let me tell you, my lovelies, like half of these people are filtered within an inch of their life, that they hardly even look like themselves. And look, I've used the odd filter before. I don't like not looking like me, so I don't like to over filter my life. But please don't feel that pressure, that weight, or feeling like you have to match these perfect images that we see on social media, because most of them are not real. Okay. I saw this thing on social media. It says the grass is not greener on the other side, it's actually a filter. So it's the same principle. Phil says, Mich, have you ever gone out in London anywhere in your lovely nice outfits? You have been criticised for it. I have had this myself and it really pees me off. Do you know what? I have gone out, I've worn outfits where I thought I looked amaze balls. And sometimes people looking are like, what on earth is she wearing? Let me tell you, if you feel good, then it's the right outfit for you, and wear it with pride and keep it moving. Look, at the end of the day, like your tribe, your people will love your outfit. So that person just ain't your tribe. Keep it moving, Phil, honestly, all right? We got Jack is in the building. Hi, Jack. Please wave at me. Please say hello. So, how to break the shame? As we said, speak to yourself just the way you would speak to your bestie. Pinpoint your shame. What is the root of it? What is the experience that triggered? Was it like what Phil said, where you've done something, you've worn something, and somebody had something negative to say? Was it something that, I don't know, as a kid, someone said you got a big nose, and for the rest of your life, you always feel like your nose is disproportionate to your... You know what I mean? Sometimes the root of the shame, if we can pinpoint where it comes from, where that hurt comes from, where that root is, then we can start to change it and change the story and change the story that we tell ourselves. Because sometimes we have made this thing such a massive thing in your mind. For example, Phil talking about going out and maybe wearing an outfit where he's felt judged, and then it becomes this big story in his mind where he feels everywhere he goes people are looking at him and are judging his outfit. And sometimes we make this story such a big thing in our minds, and it's just not that. And so we need to get to the story and make sure that we're telling ourselves the right story, and actually change the story that we're telling ourselves. Anthony says, I think there's two battles going on here: how you see yourself and how you feel people will treat you. I have a few friends who have literally moved from being willing to try something new to talk themselves out of it because they thought they weren't good enough. I know it is sometimes how it starts is when we are kids, dealing with schoolmates who seem to take great pleasure in making you feel ashamed. The first step is accepting the real you. It may be a big step, but you've got to take it. Those that know you will support you. I love that, Anthony. Thank you for that wisdom. I agree with you 100%. Tiffany says, I've had 4 operations when I was a child and still have a few scars from them, but I view them now as achievements rather than struggles. What a beautiful way to look at them, Tiffany. Bless you. Brooke says, tomorrow I'm going to have a natural day for the first day in years, no makeup and no 3 layers of tan. I got this. Yeah. Well, girl, I will be out here on these streets looking natural like I am right now. We've got Raised by Eagles saying, I'm lucky to see you online. I paused your voice video just to check IG and I'm elated watching your performances. Thank you for joining. Yes. Julie says, yeah, people tell me that my scar is something to be proud of. As I'm a survivor, you are a survivor. And you know what? What a wonderful way, again, to change the story. It is something to be proud of because you've come through it. And there's probably been a number of people that have gone through the very same thing as you, Julie, and who haven't come through it. So do you know what? Thank God. Right, guys, we need to put shame back in its place, okay? Put yourself around healthy and loving people. That is such a big thing. People that are going to talk you up. People also that are going to say to you, hold on a minute, you're going too far, right? Come on, sort yourself out, right? One of the things that I love about Amanda when we're working out together, she said to me, look, we ain't got time to be, what's her phrase? Almost like we ain't got time to be feeling sorry for ourselves right now. We need to get this done. And it snaps me out of me going, oh, I can't do this. So, yeah. Jack has said, I think it's almost said out of jealousy because you dare to dress, look different, and they don't have the nerve to do as you do. Enjoying the way you look. Even when I was 10 stones heavier, I felt insecure and dressed the way I wanted, like a white linen dress. But people always judge, and they don't have the right to do so. And you know something? People are always going to judge. People are always going to have something to say. I've got Waves by Pink Caramel. Yes! And oh, hello, my darling. Hi, Shay. 1314. Yeah. I've got Ken saying, go, sister. People are always going to have something to say, but what is it about? Like, where are these people when you're going through your serious times of life? Where are these people when you're paying your mortgage? Where are these people when you're going through serious stuff in life? Like, these people, their opinions getting just too much love. It's taken too much of a place in our life that it does not deserve. Chanel, yes, welcome, my darling. So Chanel, for those of you that just joined, I'm on here tonight. I'm makeupless, obviously I got my lippy on, but I'm here talking about my hyperpigmentation and basically how it's just made me feel like I'm imperfect, made me feel flawed, it's made me feel insecure, it's made me feel conscious about my face, on like pictures and, trying to cover it up. And now I've just got to a point of acceptance and saying, look, this is me. And, one day I will wear my makeup and one day I won't. But I'm not going to feel like, oh my God, I have to always present this image of perfection to the world and to social media. And, and I think a lot of that comes from being in the music industry for a long time and, being on TV and all these things and social media and, videos and all of that. And you know what? I'm just here to just be my best self and just to be my strongest self. And if that means I'm going to show my flaws sometimes, then that's what I'm going to do. Because I know you guys aren't going to judge me. Are you? Phil, Mich, I would love to come to London, hun, and spend the day with you and go hit the shops with me in full makeup. And I know for a fact that I won't get hassled in London as you guys are so open and cosmopolitan up there. Do you know what, Phil? London, almost anything goes. But as I said, live your best life. Cheryl says, essentially, teens these days go out with so much makeup on and very little clothing. It baffles me. Whose attention are they trying to get? And I think, again, this social media culture, I think, so many people, it's about keeping up with the trend of the day, displaying this body image of confidence and being sexy and feeling, girl power and boss babe. And to me, that's not what being a boss chick is. Boss chick is like, if I'm looking like this, or if I'm fully contoured up, regardless of what version of Michelle shows up that day, I'm a boss. And do you know what I mean? And not feeling that pressure. But I think when you're young, obviously, all your peers are posting and all the filters and this video and TikTok and Snapchat and on, I think it's a different time. But Brooke says, I've loved tonight. This has been so positive. Pink Caramel says, yep, it is you. You're beautiful, just naturally. Thank you, my darling. Shaman says, it's tiring. Do you know what? Trying to live up to people's expectations and people's image of what they think, of who they think you are. Let me tell you, like the Michelle John that you guys think I am, I have to put her to bed, and I have to put to rest the Michelle John that I created, the character that I created, and I'm just going to reprogram you guys into just embracing the real me. And I think the more I embrace the real me and accept me, the more I know you all will accept me too. And I think that goes for all of us in life. The more you embrace the realness of who you are, flaws and all, imperfections and all, whatever your imperfections are, whatever your flaws are, the more you embrace that, the more other people will listen. Out here on these streets, we'll teach people how to love us. We teach people how to respect us. We teach people how to communicate to us. And it has to come from us first. It's an inside job. Yeah? It's inside out. I've got loads and loads of hearts coming up on the screen. Thank you. I received them all. Thank you. Chanel says, the more people just do them, the more others will feel confident to do the same. Exactly. Be a trendsetter. Phil, be a trendsetter. Brooke says, adults seem to think as teens we go out with makeup and hardly any clothing to attract boys, etc. When in all honesty, the majority of us just do it because we want to. And that's fair enough, my darling. And you know what? If that's the reason, then that's okay. But for those that do it, and I'm not talking about attracting boys, but I'm talking about people that do it because they feel like they can't be seen without it. That's what I want to help people to get past that, and I'm learning to get past that myself. Yeah. Renee says, the image I get of you is being on stage with Eric Clapton singing your heart out. Renee, have you seen me on stage singing my own songs, singing my heart out? Please check out my YouTube channel and check out my videos. Actually, that brings me on to, we now have MichPowerHour TV YouTube channel. So please subscribe to my MichPowerHour YouTube channel. This is all new for me saying it. Even the sentences is I'm going to have to practice. So please subscribe. At the end of the day, you can only be a voice to people if people can get to hear your voice. So I need you guys to subscribe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So guys, again, we were just talking about building up our resistance to shame, how to break shame off of our lives, how to break shame off of us. And again, I want to give you the tips again. 1, speak to yourself in the way that you speak to someone that you love. Okay, it's so, so important. 2, pinpoint the shame, pinpoint the experience, pinpoint the root of where your shame came from. Pinpoint your belief. Did you develop this because of this? I developed this feeling about myself, this shame that I have about this, or about my flaws, or about my imperfections because of this. And check the story that you're telling yourself. And maybe it might be time for you to update the story that you're telling yourself. Check in. What is it you're telling yourself about your flaws? You know, Brooke started off tonight talking about the fact that she wears 3 layers of makeup to go out, and now she's saying, you know what, tomorrow I'm going to be natural. I'm going to do that for myself. Change the story. And you know what, you're beautiful enough to be out here without the makeup, my lovely. Brooke says, I felt insecure for years, which is why I go out with so much coverage. I want to slowly be able to stop doing that. Beautiful. Tope says, we have a true and false version of ourselves. Come on, Tope, our counsellor. Yes, we do. And I think for some of us, we rely on the false version of ourselves, don't we? But as I was saying earlier, again, in order for us to break some of this shame that we have, Tope, are you aware of a teacher called Brenna Brown? And I was using Brenna as an example. And one of the things that Brenna talks about, in order for us, in order for shame to exist, and in order for shame to survive in our lives, it relies on silence, it relies on secrecy, and it relies on judgment. And we're talking about trying to break those three things. Would you agree with that, Tope? I know this is your area. For those of you that ever need an amazing counsellor, please get in touch with Tope. He's incredible. You can see his credentials, follow him, check him out, have a chat with him. Renee says, no, but I'm going to. Yeah, Renee's going to check out my YouTube page. My YouTube channel. Yes. Tiffany says, let's take a moment to appreciate who Michelle is on her own, please. In my opinion, one of the best vocalists this world has ever seen, and with a heart of gold. Thank you so much, Tiffany. Everybody needs one fan. Essie is joining us. She said, I just caught the end. Gareth says, going off subject, but I want to take a second to congratulate you on the amazing house track you did with Bobby and Steve. Amazing voice for any style. Thank you so much, Gareth. Thank you for the advert. Julie says, I second that, Tiffany. Nana says, this has been so eye-opening and inspiring for me. I'm learning to get to know me and accept and love me, flaws and all, and deal with my insecurities. Thanks, Michelle. Oh, that's amazing. Tope is saying yes. Adelaide, hello my gorgeous, says real talk. Yes, update the story. These are the voices we have from our past, and this is our Tope giving us this. A lot of this stuff that we carry with us today are from so long ago. You know, in our 40s, we're still carrying the story that we were told when we were 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. And what I'm saying is, you know, and I'm not saying it's an easy thing, but we need to update the story that we're telling ourselves, so we're not getting stuck in this circle of shame, okay? And that we're doing to ourselves. We can't even blame anyone else, because we're doing it to ourselves. We're repeating this to ourselves. Adelaide says, it makes sense. Secrecy, shame and judgment. These are the things that allow shame to survive in our lives. Silence, secrecy, judgment. I want to get through some of these comments. Chanel saying 100%, one of the best singers. And the best arts ever. Thank you, Chanel. Tope says, this could be from our parents, our teachers, or anyone that is in a position of authority in our upbringing. You're absolutely right. So go back, okay? This is how we break the shame. Speak to yourself. And this is just some of my tips. And if you want to put up a tip, if you guys have a tip that has helped you, please, like, we've got 2 minutes just to share these tips. But I want to say just a couple of these tips. Speak to yourself the way that you would speak to someone you love. You know, how do you speak to your kids? How do you speak to your boo? How do you speak to your bestie? You know, you speak to them with love, with patience, with tolerance, with care and concern. You would never dream of being negative and saying, oh, you're ugly, and oh, who do you think you are? Where do you think you're going? Do you know what I mean? To the dialogue that you're having with yourself, speak to yourself like you would speak to someone you love. 2, pinpoint the shame. Pinpoint the root of it, where you think it started. What was the thing? What was the experience? What was the conversation? What was the experience? What was it that happened that kind of created this little seed of shame in your life? And look at the story that you're telling yourself. And I wanted to extend on that and say, update the story you're telling yourself. Brooke is saying, you've made me feel so confident tonight, and I'm really going to try not to wear so much crap on my face. Bless you, my darling. Tope says, be kind to yourself. Yes, I love that. Adelaide says, honour yourself. Yes. Put shame back in its place. Okay? For some of us, the very things that was the root of the shame we've outgrown it, we've gone beyond it, we've gone through experiences now where we've learned how to protect ourselves, we've learned how to honour ourselves, we've learned how to be kind to ourselves. So now let that be our dialogue, and don't keep repeating this habit of shame. And I've also got, put yourself around healthy and loving people. And as some of the ladies tonight who have connected from this MichPowerHour, you know, I've started to have positive friendships, and I'm encouraging you again about healthy relationships, loving relationships. And the other tip I want to leave with you is self-acceptance about who you are. And sometimes that means accepting the things that have happened and being able to draw a line under it and say, for some of us, the things that have happened were not our fault. For some of us, the things that happened were a decision that we made at a time where maybe we were less experienced, where maybe we were vulnerable, where maybe we didn't know any better, we didn't have the information. And now it's about self-acceptance and drawing a line under that experience and about what happened, and being able now to change and update our story. Because when we can update our story, we can update our behaviour. And that's when things start to get good. So, guys, I love you all. Thank you so much for being vulnerable with me tonight. And whatever your flaws are, whatever your imperfections, you are beautiful regardless. Change your story. Update the story. Okay? Love you all. Please subscribe to my MichPowerHour YouTube channel. And all of the last few weeks, if you've missed any of them, they're all there for you to see. Thank you so much for tonight. Thank you for your comments. If I didn't get to read out your comment, please forgive me. I love you. But I'm just like trying to scroll. I'm trying to read. I'm trying to speak. I'm trying to have a swig of tea. So bear with me. But guys, thank you so much. Please share it if you think it will help someone. Honestly, I'd appreciate it. Thank you so much for your love. And listen, MichPowerHour is all about turning pain into power. So guys, let's update that story. All right? Love you guys. Good night. Yeah. I don't know where that came from, but it just came out of me tonight. Love you guys. God bless ya. See you next week, yeah? Be good. Bye. Yay. Thank you guys. Good night.